Hi, and welcome to the Savvy Social Podcast. This is episode number 215. This show is dedicated to helping passion-led entrepreneurs and business owners learn how to use social media as a tool to grow their business. I'm your host, ANDREA Jones, and I'm fiercely committed to helping you understand both the how and the why of social media marketing so that you can create connection, build community, and make your difference in the world. This show is brought to you by Sendable, which is the all-in-one social media management tool that my agency uses every day to schedule and manage our accounts as well as analyze results. Try them out for yourself by going to OnlineDrea.com/Sendable. Very excited to welcome today's guests on the show. Have you ever wondered what your favorite social media personalities think about going viral, their followers, or being considered an influencer? Wonder no more. Abbie, Jean, and Nate welcome popular influencers to chat about all things social media, what life is really like, and more. So let's take a look. Nate and Abbie, Jean, welcome to the show.
Hi, we are so happy to be here.
Super excited to talk with you both today. How did you meet? How did you meet and create this thing that you've created together?
Well, I have a podcast production company and I host another show that focuses on sobriety. And I was reaching out to different individuals who share their sobriety publicly and on social media. And I came across Abbie Jean, who does that in a very public way on TikTok. And I reached out to her to be a guest on the other show. And she did so. And we just kind of had an instant connection. And I sort of had this idea that we wanted to started another show that focused just on exactly what you read in the open. And I thought that she would kind of be the perfect partner for it. So I started annoying her on a regular basis. Like, hey, let's start the show. Have you ever thought about doing a podcast? Let's do it. And we got finally to the point where we actually started, brainstorming and putting real ideas on paper. And, Abbie Jean, I kind of sent her out to jump into people's DMs since she's kind of got the following on TikTok and is mutuals with a lot of these bigger creators. So she kind of pulls in the guests for us. And we've had some pretty good luck getting some amazing people on the show.
I want to talk about your TikTok, Abbie Jean. Yeah. What kind of kicked you off on TikTok on your personal journey and then kind of combining the two later on?
Yeah. So I started uploading TikToks, in the early 2020, I would say. And I was just doing, videos of my dog and funny trending sounds and that. And the first video that I had that went quote unquote viral was a video about my Apple Watch and not knowing how to use it. And it was cute and fun. And I had all the feelings that you feel, it was like, wow, this is really cool. 1 million people saw me, even though it was a little embarrassing talking about how I don't know how to use my watch. And then it kind of went stagnant again. And then, because when you enter these social media spaces kind of without the intention of using it for a business or, whatever makes you go viral is kind of what you should stick with. And I was like, I don't have anything else to say about my watch. So I kept, on the other train. And then somehow it kind of just morphed into talking about my sobriety and other just relatable 30-year-old girl things, which has been really fun.
Yes, absolutely. I'm on the, 30-year-old girl side of TikTok as well. TikTok knows me intimately. It's kind of freaky.
They don't call it a For You page for nothing. Yeah, it's really curated for each of us, I think, is something different about TikTok as opposed to other platforms.
Yeah, they really made it for me. So bringing that expertise to your joint venture with the podcast, in the early days, I'm always curious about how you decide who does what, specifically when it comes to marketing. And it sounds like Abbie Jean did a lot of the outreach and community building. But when it comes to actually facilitating your own growth as a podcast, how do you go about marketing that? And how do you decide who does what?
It's a good question. I just kind of has like, our partnership has really just like evolved in a way that like we each have our strengths. And, you know, I focus a lot more on the production side of things and the audio and video editing and putting together things that we can use in a marketing capacity. But I think we're both really good at sharing those things on our respective platforms and, you know, using our existing audiences to absorb that. And then hopefully we can, you know, convert them into listeners of the podcast. Do you think that's right, Abbie Jean? I feel like we each contribute like our own strengths to the partnership.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that we both kind of came from like similar social media backgrounds, but very different. I mean, I remember when I first went on Nate's podcast, you know, he had like the amazing graphics and, you know, the following on Instagram and all of that. And I was like, I just kind of pop up on my TikTok.
Yeah.
And so, you know, we have that casual side, and then he's got that business mind, which I think works really well together. And then it's been really fun to reach out to these creators that I've been mutuals with, which of course going viral will show you to a large audience, which then people can find, you know, who they want to be friends with, or who they relate to. So that's been really cool to incorporate that into having them come on our show, and we get to talk to them about what it's like, you know, having millions of followers, but you're really a regular person. So I think our partnership with both sides of social media has been really great for our show.
Yeah. And you've had some pretty big names on the show in the TikTok space, and just in the online space in general. What are some of the trends that you see when it comes to being an influencer? You know, I think a lot of people put a lot of stock into going viral or having millions of followers. But I don't personally think it's all that it's cracked up to be. I mean, everyone's a person at the end of the day. So what are some of the trends that you see happening with some of these amazing conversations that you're having on your show?
Yeah, I think you hit a big one, like right off the bat. I think a lot of similarities that most people actually say on the show is that, you know, there isn't a magic pill, or there really is no rhyme or reason to it. I think the thing that will propel that happening, or that we've seen in most of these viral cases, are just the authenticity and being your authentic self and showing your true personality, and you know, not faking anything or trying to script anything, but truly being yourself and showing that authenticity. And, you know, people can see through that, and people relate to just being yourself. And I think that is a common theme that most of the creators that we've talked to sort of share in common, and have said that is sort of how it happened for them, really.
Yeah. I like that. And I think it definitely adds to the conversation of what it means to be an influencer. And I'm curious, from your own experience, you've had a viral moment yourself, correct?
Abbie Jean has had several, most recently this weekend. She's still recovering from it.
Okay, spill.
So I actually had posted a video. So again, relatable 30-year-old things where I recently we moved out into the middle of the woods, and I thought the other day that I left my curling iron plugged in. And as soon as I hit the point of no return and went all the way to work, I was like, I don't even know what to do now. Like, there's no one to even call to go check if my curling iron's plugged in. So I had made a video, just me holding up the curling iron and saying, like, it is unplugged. It is unplugged. And then I threw the curling iron into my backyard.
To the wilderness.
And I was like, it's definitely not near the bathroom because it is outside in my yard.
Oh my God.
which I found great comfort in because all day I was like, well, it's not burning my house down because it's in my backyard.
Okay.
And I closed the app. I went.
Yeah.
Just a total sidebar. I watched this video and I didn't even realize it was you. I saw it literally minutes ago on my lunch break. But continue.
Yeah, which is so funny. So I got that exact reaction from a lot of people. I had a lot of people. So I closed the app, go to work, and I work 10-hour shifts. So I'm not really on my phone much. And I opened it that night and I think I was pushing like 700,000. And I was like, oh God, here we go. Gear up. Cause I kind of know what's coming because once a video goes viral, it's on the page of the people who think this is funny and cute. And then it takes the turn. It takes a weird turn and it goes to the people's pages who just think you're an idiot.
And they will tell you that.
So yeah, I posted on Friday and they will tell you that. And so now we're at like 4.5 million and which is it's fun and it's cute to read the comments. The people in the comment section are absolutely hilarious. And once it goes viral and it takes that turn, you say that was great. You leave it there and you don't go to the comment section.
I want to talk about both the positive and the negatives that come with these viral moments. Because you've kind of touched on both. And I want to talk about the positive first. What are some of the things that you see happening, specifically with some of your other brands like this podcast? What positive things do you see coming from those viral moments?
Definitely just exposure, I think. The more that we can get out there and people know who we are, I think that's huge for building an audience of listeners and doing it in a very relatable way.
I think it also, it sort of opens the door to other larger creators or influencers having a comfort level in coming on the show and being able to relate to Abbie Jean and her experience with going viral and they feel a certain level of comfort and like, you get it. Okay. You get what it's like. I'll come on and chat with you about it. And it's that like relatability that she shares with them.
So what do you think are the downsides? Because I hear about this a lot with people going viral where, they get the influx of the negative comments or just the amount of attention can be overwhelming for a lot of people. What are some of the things you've experienced personally and maybe even share some of the stories that you've heard on your own podcast? Yeah.
So I think that the negative part about it is definitely the comment section. Of course, I had a lot of people from high school reach out, which was really funny. Like, Abbie Jean used to be hilarious and you're still haven't seen you in 12 years, but go get it, girl. But it's just, and it's the comment section. Once it took the turn, you're having like a perfectly regular day and then you open it and people can be cruel. And I always say you leave the video when people start talking about you on your own video like you're not there. Doesn't this girl know? Doesn't this girl understand? Yeah. So I would be crazy to say that it doesn't bother me because of course it does. I'm a sensitive person. And but the thing that really breaks my heart is watching other people fight in the comment section of my video because I feel like I do hold that power. And so it's like, do I take the video down to make this stop? Or do I just say, this is nothing, there's nothing I can really do about these people fighting, but it gets brutal and it's upsetting that people are left out on the internet. But unfortunately that is just kind of what social media brings. So, I would say that the positives do outweigh the negatives, I think, because like I said, the people in the comment section are some of the most hilarious people that you will ever see. The comments are really funny. So you just kind of have to take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, I love that. Kind of let it roll off your back because it is like the internet comment sections can be a dangerous place. Do not recommend.
Right.
I remember receiving my first negative comment back in the day when I was on YouTube and creating YouTube videos. And it was like one of those comments that was like, go kill yourself or something like that. And I was like shocked for days. It's like, how could someone do this? But yeah, it's wild out there. Wild.
We've also talked to creators who have had like people trying to figure out where their kids go to school and like the darker side of things as well. So, it can bleed into your personal life for sure. And you definitely have to weigh those super negatives versus, is it creating enough positivity in my life, or is it worth this risk really that it opens up into your life?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And we've had conversations because, we'll curate lists of who we'd like to have on the podcast. And we've even talked about, and we put it on the table. If we have them on as a guest, will the negativity bleed into our podcast? And do we want to be a part of that? Because it is a very dark, scary place. So we have, made the decision to maybe not ask certain people on just because we know that that's a possibility. And, we do want to keep it a positive thing. We like to talk about the nitty gritty and the, get all the juice, but we also have to protect, what we're working so hard on, which is really important.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I want to talk about the podcast, specifically and how you market it. Because I know we have quite a number of podcasters listening as well. And, you're on Instagram, you're on TikTok, you're on Facebook. What's your approach to creating content to then leverage these interviews and help more people find them? How do you create your social media posts for the podcast?
I think it's important to use a piece or maybe two pieces of content in more than one way. So we typically do about 2 or 3 1-minute clips of each episode that we put, that we air. And, typically one will focus more on the like meat of the interview and whether they're, we're talking about someone's personal life or talking about the business that they run to really showcase what they're working on. And then typically there's at least 1, usually 2 that are humorous and maybe ranting of Abbie, Jean, and myself talking nonsense. And I edit it together in like a ridiculous, funny way. But then I will use those 3 pieces of content to pull a quote out of and to be able to post it on Instagram as a photo or a graphic. And then we also pull the photos that we post on our YouTube thumbnail. So we're using the same bit of content and trying to repurpose it in different ways. And I think that one, it creates that cohesiveness where people can have brand recognition and identify not only the podcast, but each guest that we're interviewing. But it's also, we don't have to recreate the wheel every week when we're trying to get these episodes on the air and create the main focus is the podcast episode and the audio content. So we've had some pretty positive feedback specifically about our clips of the show, and it seems to draw in the demographic, at least, of the audience that we're looking for, and our listenership seems to be building each week. So fingers crossed. I think it's working.
Yeah, I would say it's working. I'm curious too about the guest side of things. I know, Abbie Jean, you reach out before the episode, but do you reach out after it's live to ask them to share, promote, that sort of thing?
Yeah. So Nate does in the beginning, he does like his little spiel, and we always, we'll tell them around how far we are recording out. So around the date that their episode will go live. And then usually the day it goes live, which is we post every Monday, we'll do a live with them and we'll talk about it. So we'll either do a TikTok or an Instagram live, and we, kind of tease some things. Sometimes we've just done like regular conversations with them so that like, my audience, their audience, Nate's audience, they're all popping in like, what is Nate and Abbie Jean doing here with, Babies of Steel? What's going on? So it kind of creates this fun way to say like, oh, we recorded a podcast and it's linked in the bios and you can go and listen, which has been really great because, when you have a strong following, those followers really want to listen and know everything that you're doing. So that helps us kind of push their episodes so their audience can hear a little bit about their real life.
Yeah. I like the idea of the live stream.
Yeah. Yeah. We try to go live with everyone. And also I try to make it clear, like, from the production side of things that without like requiring them to do anything, like we kind of expect you to help us market your particular episode. Like we want you to reshare our social posts, and we want you to maybe mention us in a post or a TikTok. And like I said, you're not required obviously to do anything. We're happy that you are coming on the show and that we get to chat with you. But I think I do try to set this expectation where, the creators will help us market their particular episode.
Yeah, I like that kind of collaboration piece as well, because even, just on this podcast, we are co-creating an asset together, right? So it does make sense to have that collaboration kind of built in.
Yeah.
What's to come for you? Are there any new trends or any new platforms that you're excited to dive into? I
have actually been researching the Spotify Green Room, which I have yet to talk about it with Abbie Jean. She's probably like, what are you talking about? But I've been like looking at other platforms where it's more of a live interaction, and a live conversation. I think something about like the live streams that we do and like a live podcast format really excites me. So I think that that's something that we possibly would look at in the future. I know that there are a couple different apps now. The Clubhouse and the Wisdom app are a few of the other platforms that offer this sort of live chat that really interests me. But we definitely still have work to do on our existing platform. We're working to organically build our audience and hopefully secure some sponsors here in the near future. So I think we definitely have some building to do on our current platform first.
Gotcha. Okay, awesome. Well, thank you both for coming on the show. For those who are listening and they want to dive into all the things that you do, where's the best place that they can find out more about The Influence?
Well, like you said, we are on all social platforms, but I think the easiest way is theinfluencepodcast.net, and that will link you to all of our social platforms. All of our episodes are uploaded there, and you can kind of follow us wherever you choose to through the website.
Do you have a favorite episode, by the way? I'm just curious.
Ooh, Abbie Jean, what's your favorite?
I think we both have different. Yeah. I know. I think we have different ones. Well, mine changes because I listen to them over and over again. I loved our episode with Dope Kitchen.
Nicole from Dope Kitchen. She just had this business mind and is like taking it in the right direction. Yeah. Okay. I would say right now mine change as well because we're guilty of listening to our own episodes and critiquing our own work and using it to get better. So I would say that mine probably right now is Ashley Knock, just because we really took a personal turn, and she talked about real life and being separated from her husband and how it's affecting her life as a content creator and her life as a mom. And she really just like let it all out there. So it really felt real and personal. So I like that episode.
Beautiful. Okay, so those of you listening, we're going to link directly to those two episodes. Start with those because I think that'll be a really good place to start. for this show. Thank you both for coming on. This was such a great conversation.
Thanks so much, Andrea. We appreciate it.
Awesome. And thank you, dear listener, for tuning in to another episode of the Savvy Social Podcast. Make sure you're following us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And if you like the show, give us a 5-star review. Helps keep us in the top 100 marketing podcasts on Apple Podcasts. And that's all because of you, dear listener. Next week, I'm going to be talking all about authenticity versus transparency. I think this is a huge conversation to follow up this one here. Where do you draw the line personally, professionally, in your business? So let's talk about it next week on the show. I'll see you then. Bye for now.